Good morning, nice and decent people. Good morning. And it is morning. Some more music. Agent! Big up agent stuff. I can listen to this all day. But people, welcome back to BBK Sports. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from. Nice and decent people. What I like to call you all, nice and decent people. People who are being abused and cast aside by Arsenal Football Club. Your loyalty has been taken advantage of, as an Arsenal fan. Seriously. I seriously believe whenever I see an Arsenal fan, I have this thing, right? Whenever I go out somewhere, I'm at a bar, I'm at a lounge somewhere, and I see like a teacher. If I meet someone, I'm sitting at the bar and they tell me that I'm a teacher, I buy them a drink. I shake their hand because I know what they go through in the classroom every day with our damn kids. We know some of our kids aren't the most well-behaved people in the world. I usually buy them a drink. Or if I'm sitting somewhere and I see a bunch of young service members, young soldiers. I used to be a young soldier. I pay for their food and I leave, and I don't even tell anyone. I just leave. I just get up out of there as a token of my appreciation. I might have to start doing the same thing for Arsenal fans. Like whenever I see another Arsenal fan, I might just be like, brother, I know what you're going through. The struggle is real. Let's have a moment. Let me at least buy you a drink because I know this part of your life sucks. Sucks. Because I'm actually fighting with people that's telling me that the transfer window is good. It's good. I never wanted to be here. I never wanted to be in this space where I'm thinking that the transfer window that Arsenal had this year was actually good. That damn Tony Claude, yeah. Oh my God. I love Tony, but he's one of the people that I'm fighting with. Big up to KP. He's one of the people that also said that the transfer window is good. That whenever you see Arsenal sign 6-7 players. Brother, quite a few players have left, If we had signed 6-7 additions to the team, serious additions, I'd hear it. But Zubimendi, Partey, there's no gain there. One left, one came in. Georgina left, Norgard came in. What was our goalkeeper name? Neto left, Kepa came in. That's 3 for 3. That's 3 out, 3 in. So now we're looking at Mascara and we're looking at gyokeres. That is not a great transfer window for me. The Arsenal Football Club are taking advantage of their fans because they know that we won't riot. They know that we won't create a stink or create an uproar. We're just, it is what it is. We're rolling along with it. But, I don't like to rant too long, but got to get that off my system. I do believe we're taking advantage of it. Big up to Alvin. Big up to Bluebird. The Waffle Don is in here. Yes. You're missing a yes. It's 3 yeses. It's 3 yeses, Waffle Don. Big up to Hendo and Danguna and BBK Sports. Big up to LFC Monster. Now, it's your move, King. The man is back in practice. It's your move. What do you do? Because I do not believe that Liverpool are done with this. I don't believe that. I don't believe Liverpool are just gonna create a stink and just walk away from the deal at the first bid. Like, who does that? You didn't walk away from the Verts deal at the first bid. Why are you gonna walk away from this guy who is a power shifter? He completely shifts the power dynamics in the Premier League if he goes to Liverpool. You're not walking away from this deal, Liverpool. No amount of ego can allow Liverpool to walk away from this deal, even though that they can, because even without Isaac, Liverpool fans are pretty happy with the transfer window. Am I lying? LFC Monster. But you have to go back in for Isaac, right? You at least have to make a second bid for a player of this ilk. You don't just bid and be like, oh, and walk away. Nah. You needed him more than you needed Verts. I'd argue. You won the league with that midfield. It's Nunes that was your biggest problem. Luis Diaz wasn't a problem, and he's gone. So you were losing, 17 goals in your front line? I think Diaz scored like 17 goals last year, all comps. I'm here for it. I'm here for a Liverpool discussion, you know. I'm absolutely here for it. But big up to the LFC Monster every single time for checking in. Arsenal are so jokes, says Tom Wallace. Not Brett May. Is that you with this new name, this new brand? Big up to you, bro, for checking in. BBK Sports welcomes you here every time. My dog. So Arsenal launched the third kit today, which is white. Shows Arsenal are becoming more like Spurs of old each season. They launched the third kit. Now I gotta have a look at it. Even though I'm not gonna buy it, yeah? I'm not. But you know what? My birthday coming up next month. I guarantee you on like 20 September or something, I will get a notification from the armory saying your package is on the way. Because my wife, my sister, someone will buy this damn shit for me. And I'll put it up in the dresser drawer with the rest of it. Okay. I don't I see it. I see it, Hendo. I don't know if I like this. I see Saka, Declan with a kid tucked in his pants. They got it tucked in. I don't know. I don't know if I like it. I don't know. But they're gonna buy it. They are going to absolute buy it. Big up to Hendo. Big up to AJ. AJ, man, I appreciate you so much, my bro. So much, man. What a guy. Big up to AJ. Don't even have to read that out, but I will. Please like the stream if you haven't already. It really helps Taryn out. It does. It does. Good morning to you, my bro. Hope you are having a fantastic day. How on earth has Arteta bought a squad and a half worth of players and still need more? So I was see the thing, AJ, yesterday I looked at how much we have spent. I didn't even go back to the day he took over. I didn't go back that far. I just went back to 2023, the last time we played good football. Yeah, last time we were actually not an eyesore. The last time we were actually fun to look at on the screen. But like, oh, I'm excited to see Arsenal play today. Even the rivals, even the harshest of rivals would come through and be like, man, I don't like Arsenal, and I definitely don't like their fans, but the way they play football is beautiful. Yeah. So I went back to the 2023 season to now. That's just 2 years, just 2 years back, and looked at the numbers. And we are over at 500 million. From 2023 until now, we spent over 500 million pounds. Not euros, not US dollars, pounds. And we look worse. So I could compound this question, AJ, and say, how on earth has Arteta spent 500 million in 2 years, and the squad look worse? Not only do we need more, the squad looks absolute worse. We look terrible. We are terrible to watch right now. Preseason, end of last season, all of last season, it was dreadful to watch. Horseshoe football is what Shane Yuna calls it. From one side, recycle, back to the next side. Absolutely nothing that you want to see. But yeah, it's a great question. It's a great question. The transfer window so far, 3 out of 10. This morning, I put in Views' chat a 4. When he asked, he put it to the panel, put it to the chat. I think it's a 4 at best. We'll not argue with a 3, but it's damn sure not a 6. A 6 would be, it's above average. I'm thinking, I'll go, it'll be a 5 at best, and that's with the addition of gyokeres. Because I'm saying to people, and I'm saying to Arteta, and I'm saying to Arsenal fans, if you are watching the team and you are watching how we play and watch what happens on the left-hand side of the pitch, there is no way you can be comfortable with that. There is no way you can look at that and be like, I want more of that. I want more of that. No, you want less of that. And the only way to get less of that is to upgrade and get rid of the player that's there. I'm at the point now, I don't even blame Martinelli because he showed us his level. You can't expect a player to do something that he is not. Right? You know? He's just not that guy. And we need an upgrade there. And if it's true that he is blocking a sale of Martinelli, then my fellow football fans, because there are more than Arsenal fans in the chat. then I fear that Arteta has even more power at the club than we're willing to admit. He has even more power, more than we thought, to actually block a move that would actually improve the squad. But we definitely need an upgrade on Martinelli on the left hand side, and that's the biggest sticking point of the transfer window so far. Still think we need more than just that, but that goes back to AJ's question: how on earth has he spent that much and still need more in phase number infinity? I don't know what phase we're in. I lost count. Phase number, whatever the hell we're in. You know, whatever phase we are in, we are proper fucked. LFC said, how and the squad had a day off, but Isak went in for a massage on that thigh injury he doesn't have. I thought that. I thought about this because this is something that, it's in American sports, LFC Monster, it's prevalent. This is how coaches and organizations protect players. They assign them an injury, and muscular injury, because those muscular injuries can be everlasting, niggling, and you can spin that. So that's how they protect players. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that boy. Nothing wrong with him. He is perfectly fine. And I think if he does get sold before the season starts, he turns up Monday Night Football. Was it August 25th? He turns up at Newcastle in a red shirt and bang against them. He plays that game if he is sold before the season starts. If he's not sold before the season starts, I don't think he plays that game. That's what I told Bex and the Jordy Dread yesterday on the People Them podcast, the late night owl edition. I truly believe no Eze, no left winger, just a sterling like London. Oh, AJ, it's coming. Deadline day, Chelsea incoming, and Nkunku and Ben Chilwell. Because now I'm hearing left back talks, and I was so hell bent on no more defensive players. There's something about having to be looking for another left back when we just let Kieran Tierney leave on a free that winds me up. It does. This is like trading in a car just to buy a new one, or just paying off your car just to trade it in. Like, I've been paying on this car for 3 years. I paid it off. Now I'm going to trade it in and make payments on a new car. But, yep, this is going to happen. Arsenal will be involved in the deadline day madness. Oh, yes. We have a part to play. Big up to Mark Kabongo. Say, BBK, big up. I see a German flag on your background. Are you locating there? I am in Luxembourg. You speak Luxembourgish, Mark. Oh, big up to you. No, brother. I left Germany in 2023. That was my that was my going away plaque, my going away gift. Normally when you leave a unit, they give you I'll take it off the wall some other time and bring it up close. But yeah, I was in Deutschland from COVID, from 2020 to 2023. Best 3 years I've had in a long time living in that place. And I visited Luxembourg. I visited Luxembourg in November of 2021. Luxembourg, went to Brussels on a tour of Normandy and all that. Yeah, big up to you, man. Luxembourg. See, this is why I wish I started doing content while I was still in Europe. Would have given me a whole lot more flexibility because I used to do a lot of traveling. Man. But big up to you, Mark. Hey, there it is. Big up to Hendo. There you go, man. Big up to Hendo. Spot on, Hendo. Big up. I'm the colors, man. Hey, Waffle Down, what you saying to me, brother? Hope you are good. LFC say he likes the third kid. I don't know, man. I don't like that. I don't know. I don't know. Not my cup of tea. But, to each his own, they say. Big up to the assembled, sir. How are you? What are you telling me today about the blunder man? Big up to Mr. Batter. Now, Mr. Batter, same question to you, to LFC Monster. There's no way you are unsettling Isaac just to leave him at Newcastle, yeah? Not that you care about the player being unsettled, but because Luis Diaz helped you win a league title, you were unsettled. He was unsettled there, man. Just like, You want to raise? Nah, you can go get that at Bayern. We don't think you are worth 280 or whatever euros a week. They move him on. But I seriously don't think Liverpool are just going to walk away after the bid was rejected once. Like a bid rejected once, it's kind of like standard procedure now in transfers, isn't it? Like it doesn't quite happen often when the opening bid goes through. Because if negotiations it just doesn't work like that, right? Because the Newcastle knows a number that they're okay with. This is as low as we will go. You don't start at that number. So they're starting at 150. The 120 is probably the number that they want. And Liverpool might say, 130 is the highest we will go, knowing damn well they would go 135 if push came to shove. But I do think he ends up at Liverpool. I really don't. I don't think he stays at Newcastle to start the season. Big up Hendo said, I don't like that white kit. Where's the classic yellow and blue? And that's where I'm at. The yellow and blue. The traditions of the club are being eroded along with the winning standards. Yeah, the white kit, I know, it's just it just doesn't bang for me. Just give me some yellow, give me some red. Not really on the white thing. We're on 11 likes. Okay. We got what? We got 16 locked in. We got 11 likes. Okay, I can vibe with it. Big up to the silent listeners in the building. Big up to Godfrey. Big up to Godfrey, my brother. Where you at? I know I saw a comment. There we go. The legendary Godfrey. Big up to you, my bro. Arsenal window lost 2 points just because of the unnecessary signings first and the slowness of getting Gyokeres. Mr. Batter got a mad rubric, Yeah, there's speed, decisive action. Yeah, the Liverpool were deliberate with their word signing. Oh, didn't accept this? Okay, here's the deal. Bang, bang, bang. I don't even think there was any haggling over the Frimpong deal. That was quick, fast, and in a hurry. Didn't Arteta block Zinni leaving too? No, you are right. That was the same article. But I only brought up the Martinelli one because I actually believe we can get money for Martinelli. Zinchenko, I think we're taking a loss. I think we are taking a loss if we sell Zinchenko because of his ridiculous contract. When you are a left back, third choice left back at Arsenal Football Club, and you are on that type of money, no one is picking that up. No one is going to pick that up, innit? So we'll see how that goes. But I'm not inclined to believe that we are going to get any money worthwhile for Zinchenko. And today, ladies and gentlemen, he may have popped in here earlier, but I caught him at the minute 19 and 19 minute and 15 seconds.
Maybach music.
I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover. I'm burning purple flowers, it's burning my chest. I bury the most cash and burning the rest. Rosea born stunner, I could blow money. 50 when I'm shit.
Maybach music.
Yes, people, and then we will pause. We will pause and wait for permission to continue this stream because it is a Monday and we're kicking off the week the right way. So Brother E. Ross has to give us permission to continue the stream after he has graced us with his presence today. Big up to E. Ross every single time. I'll take a glimpse at the chat. And I see, okay, we're good. We can continue. We can continue. Big up to E. Ross, man. What a legend. What a guy. I lost track of the comments. This is what E. Ross does. I'm becoming a casualty of the E. Ross tribute. Yeah, there we go. Question from the assembled. All that happened was Xhaka left. Mother Hubbard decided to bring in Havertz. For Xhaka to release Martinelli. Havertz is now a striker. Martinelli has become a defender. And the left-hand side is unbalanced. Yeah, completely unbalanced, brother. We are dead. Because we're so unbalanced, we are so easy to play against. You know, I didn't like that. That was my biggest takeaway from the Tottenham game. It wasn't that we lost the Spurs in Singapore in a meaningless preseason game. It's the fact that we looked easy to play against. Like they didn't break a sweat against us. It was kind of like, have the ball, Arsenal. You can have it all day. You can make 700 meaningless passes. We don't care. We held on to these injury-prone players, but players who had dubious injury records. Yeah, Tomiyasu, Calafiori. Yeah, and they both came from the Italian league, didn't they? Both of them. We did get Tomiyasu from Italy. Or am I lying? Am I missing that? Yeah, someone is not doing their due diligence, Borten. Oh man, Mr. Batter having a lifetime out there. Some good food, great people, commutes and traffic during traffic is draining hours of. Oh Lord, what is that? Cacophonous traffic is maddening. Hey, Mr. Batter, you got to speak at a 7th grade level with these damn big words that you're throwing in the chat. You know, big up to you, bro. It's the same reason that Kepa was brought in. Another friendly voice in the dressing room. Yeah, seems like a nice guy, isn't it? Yeah. Arteta fix is Stu himself. We tasted this. It could be good. It could be shit. Oh my days! It could be the latter. It's gonna be shit. Like yeah. The frustration that's brewing, the frustration that's going to brew when we start playing this dead football in this season. A world exists that we come out on August 17th and blitz Man United and win, and everyone is like, "Whoa, I didn't see that coming," and I'm here for it. I'm here for that talking point. But I just don't. You know, they say a leopard never changes his spot for a reason, innit? You never go with your best offer it straight away, and we'll be back in with another bid this week, in my opinion. You know what? I think facts, big facts. But you know what? I also think, Newcastle playing a dangerous game here. I think Newcastle playing a dangerous game because if they really piss off Liverpool can really, really put in the bid at a time that's very inconvenient for Newcastle and forces Newcastle with no time to react. Because if you're Newcastle, you want the money now. I asked the question to Specs yesterday. Do you want the player going or you want the money? Man straddled the fence like I've never seen before. Man said, I'm a Gemini, so one day I wake up feeling this way, one way I wake up feeling that way. That was his real answer. I'm like, do you want the money or do you want the player to stay? And if you take the emotion out of it, you probably want the money. Because most Newcastle fans did not think that Isak was going to spend his entire career at Newcastle. Come on now. We're not doing that. You knew he was going to leave eventually. Now, I'm thinking you hope he would have given you 5 years. But if he's giving you 3 and a trophy, 2 finals, gave you Champions League football twice. You know, maybe he feels like the process was accelerated and he was a big part of that and he wants to move on. You know, our away kit should be always yellow and blue. That's simple. Yellow and blue, I'll be all over it. All over it. I hate the fact that they change the kit every year, you know. Because now it's a money grab. Like when you had to remember when you had to keep the kit for like 2 years before you revealed the new kit? There was more thought put into the kit back then. Now it's just like, just throw some shit out. The fans gonna laugh it up, and if they don't, there's a new one coming the next year anyway. You know, you Maybach music every time. You guys didn't like that cotton candy third kit last year. The last third kit that I liked was the 2021. It was kind of like blue, and it had like, let's say like pinkish. I actually have it. I can't wait to start wearing my damn kits, man. But I will not be wearing those kits until we start fucking winning. I just don't want to. This club just taking the mick out of their fans just by not winning and expect us to keep buying these damn kits, man. They're killing me. They're killing me. Oh shit. Taryn, listen to this, please. Despite the Champions League win, we should Renee win nothing for the next 2 seasons. She actually gets sacked. So all on Earth is Arteta going 6.5 years and counting. And this is a great point, right? So AJ, here's the thing. The Cronkies KFC Enterprise or KFC Entertainment, whatever the fuck KFC. The Cronkin them. They own the Denver Nuggets. Mike Malone is the NBA winning championship head coach. They won the Denver Nuggets won the NBA title in 2021. They fired him this year actually. They fired him this year going into the playoffs. As soon as the playoffs start, they fired him. He won a title. He won a trophy. Right, there is no 4 trophies to play for in the NBA now. They just started the NBA Cup thing, but there's only 1 trophy to win. And he won it. And they fired him. But they keep in Arteta, who's 6.5 years and counting. There's something. The math ain't mathin', isn't it? The math ain't mathin'. Like he is doing something on the behalf that they see as success. So either they see the Nuggets winning trophies as the benchmark, they see the women winning trophies as benchmark, but they see the men's team just keep bringing in the money and you're safe. Absolute madness. But Mr. Batterd, I think Liv Newcastle have a number agreed on. Using how FSG and PIF excellent work relationship. I think this relationship is going to go sour if Liverpool put it down, make it drag out. Because if they have a number agreed on, then surely, if the relationship is that great, you would want Newcastle to get the money so they can go reinvest it. I've always said it would go all summer long because of the moving parts, 130 to 140 deal in the end. And I think it'll be in that area. Yeah. Because Liverpool can't balk at 130 when you paid one something for Verts, a midfielder. This guy is not an old man. He's 25. He's in his prime, and he's a striker. We see Harry Kane went for $100 million in the last year of his deal. Last year. Isak has 3 years left on his deal. So this 130 sounds like fair market value to me, based on what's going on. Mother Hubbard, that brother, I'm scared to know what the assembled is gonna call. He's gonna call Blunderman next. You know, big up to the chat, man. Big up to the chat. If we don't beat United, it's gonna be an awfully long season, particularly if we draw. Yo, I think we draw that game. That game has 1-1 written all over it already. If I had to predict it today, that's what I would go. You know, in most other games during the season, I'd be like, okay, this could go either way. 3 different results: win, lose, draw. We're not losing that game. You know, that game is 2 results. Either we win it or we draw. And right now, I'm leaning more likely towards a 1-1. But yeah, there will be some prediction shows coming up. What's today? The 4th. So the season starts on the 16th or so. So yeah, that Friday, the Waffle Down and I will do a warm show. We'll do some predictions, and I hope you men are there to join us. Definitely with the shambles Newcastle's been on so far this window, they got a lot more to lose out of this Isak deal. We covered ourselves with the Ekitike signing. Now that might even be a sticking point where Newcastle are looking at you, man, like, why would you do that? That you're taking our guy, like you're taking our main guy and you took our alternate. You know, you took man's main chick and his side piece. You know, you took his wife and his girlfriend. You know, you took his mistress and his main squeeze. It's not a good look. It is a money-making exercise. That's why the kids are hit or miss. You know, there's not much thought that goes into them. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this white. I've not bought any merch since 2008, and I still will not do so until the standards are raised. Hey, I hear that. Yeah, and I didn't, because 2008 is when I started going to games back on a regular hand up. Because '08 is when I started earning enough money to be able to afford that travel. '08 is when I became a sergeant. And I wasn't rich by any means, but then I could afford the $800 plane ticket, across the water, and to get the ticket on resale to watch one Premier League game a year and watch my team play. In between '08 and 2016, it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I bought kits up until 2021 because we won the FA Cup in 2020. I bought that kit, and then the following year I bought that kit. But yes, I haven't bought a kit since. But every kit since then I actually have, because Father's Day, my birthday, Christmas never fails from the Armory. Your package is on its way. I don't know who. It's probably my sister that's trolling me. He's a Liverpool fan. Yep. Matt Malone, sacked. Arteta, safe. Make it make sense. I denied myself that black kit, the 4241. Jeez, that one was fire. If it were a seriously ran club, I would have worn that kit every day that it was clean. That would have thing would have had holes in it. Yeah, brother, I want to sit here in an Arsenal hoodie. Because some of the hoodies are fire, especially that 4241. And they put that right out. I want to sit here and do it. But that day will come. Unfortunately, I just don't think that day will come. I think that day comes sooner when we get rid of the manager. Meanwhile, as long as Arteta making money, Arsenal making money, Arteta is staying. That's his benchmark. Because it's clearly not that merit at this point. He's not here on merit. And he's damn sure not on £15.6 million on merit. I think the thought of him being sacked will terrify him. Absolutely terrify him. Because if you remember, like, the top managers in their heyday, right? You remember, like, Mourinho when he was at Chelsea. You think Mourinho, when he was at Chelsea, cared that he would get sacked? He didn't care. Because he knew if he got sacked, he would get another big job because he knows he's a top manager. Carlo Ancelotti, the same thing. These men know when they go to these big clubs and they sign these contracts, they know it's going to go pear-shaped quick. They know they'll have 5-6 years at the job, even if they win the odd trophy here and there. But to go 5 full years trophyless and be the third highest paid manager in Europe, something is off. Something is wrong there. That math ain't mathing. Antonio Conte, whenever he goes into a big job, he knows he's going to be sacked because of the type of guy that he is. But he backs himself because he knows that he's a top manager. Like, I'm not deep on Serie A history, but I don't know if there's ever been a manager to win the Scudetto with 3 different clubs in Italy. Conte has done it. Napoli, Juventus, Inter. He's done it. Don't write yourself off to see in 2030 Antonio Conte could be managing AC Milan and win with them. He's not loyal to any of those clubs. He just wants to win. When he doesn't get what he wants, he walks. Who do we think if Arsenal sacked Arteta? Napoli, Juventus, Inter, Milan, Chelsea, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. None of these clubs would be lining up to sign him. Don't let the Vincent Kompany or the Bayern Munich thing cloud your judgment about shit managers getting big jobs. Right? Because Russell Martin got sacked at Southampton, or would have relegated him anyway. He wasn't getting that Bayern Munich job. Vincent Kompany got that Bayern Munich job based on other things other than football. And if he doesn't win this year, he's out of there. Even though he won the Bundesliga this year. Because I've asked this question before. Who do you think is a better manager? Thomas Tuchel or Vincent Kompany? Thomas Tuchel is the better manager based on body of work. But they sacked Thomas Tuchel when they didn't win the Bundesliga when Leverkusen did the Invincible. They sacked Tuchel for that. Hired a rookie manager, so to speak. They gave someone else a chance, is the broader point that I'm trying to make. So even the most staunchest of defenders of Arteta, they now are even not doing the who we gonna get thing. Because that argument doesn't run, because there are so many examples you can use to debunk that bullshit theory. Who you're gonna get? 1, that's not our job. And 2, it doesn't matter. You give someone else a chance. Go back 2 years. Go back when Vincent Company was at Burnley getting punched up by anyone, and you ask any Bayern Munich fan, "Do you want us to sack Tuchel and hire Company?" They would have said no unanimously. Not 99%. 100 of them would have said no. But looking back at it now, they're like, "Well, damn, it worked out. There was life after Tommy Tuchel. You just give someone else a chance." Big up to Brother Views. Big up to you, bro. Intervention was on smoke this morning, as always. Saying smash the like. Great job on the likes, people. If we could get to 20 likes, that would be dope as. Big up to Gavin the Legend. What you saying to me, bro? Hope you are good. We're at 19 likes. That's AJ. Big up, man. Big up, AJ. Waffled and got away from the chat. Liverpool need to move fast and get Isak as the season starts in 11 days for them, and also Newcastle need to sign a replacement before the season starts. Absolutely. They might even need two. They might need two. Because Man United is supposedly bidding for Sesko today. Who does that leave on the market? Who's left on the market now for a Newcastle that can replace Isak's goals? Wissa, he scored 19 at Brentford. You can probably replicate that at Newcastle. But they would need someone else to get, the 20, 25 goals that Isak would normally score in the Premier League season. But I completely agree. Do you think it's time the medical team have their feet to the fire? Only Arsenal buy players who unbelievably get injured within 3 months of being bought. Coincidence? Or again, another injury in training. Yeah, like there's only so far that you can believe in coincidences, right? Like if you keep running into the same motherfucker on the same side of town when you randomly go on that side of town, on the third time you're gonna be like, dude, you're following me. It's not like I come here every Thursday at noon. I come here Thursday at noon, and 3 months later I'm here on a Tuesday at 8. Then I'm a Saturday at 9, and every time I pop up here, you're here. Not a coincidence. You're following me. It was that time of the window. Liverpool ideally wanted positions filled for as much of the preseason as possible. Fair. By the way, we were tracking Ekatike way before it wasn't an impulse or a chess. But that would make sense. Because if you were tracking him way before and then you see Newcastle link with him, you have to move in it. So yeah, that actually makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Thank you for clearing that up, Mr. Batter. To the assembled medical team works with the best interests of the club, not the players. That part. Yep. Many times they'll tell you, "Oh yeah, he can play. We didn't see a tear. He can play." Yeah, they work for the club, not the players. That's why in the American sports, that specifically in the NBA, when players feel a certain way, they get independent opinions from their own personal doctors or someone else. They don't trust the team doctors because the team pays the doctors, not the players. If they go against the club, then they get sacked. Yeah, conflict of interest, isn't it? Conflict of interest. Unless the Premier League or the governing body are going to have an independent medical commission and assign them to teams, then this will always be a problem. Yeah. Always be a problem. But we moved. E-Ross, Brother Hubbard went to the trophy cabinet, etc., etc. Oh, my days. Where we at? Lookman put in a transfer request yesterday, fined a £48 million for him now. EJ rates that Lookman highly. We're so starved on the left-hand side, even though I've said many times that I don't think Lookman is good enough for the Premier League because I've seen him in the Premier League. I wasn't impressed with him. At this point, he's better than what we've got, but I don't want to use he's better than what we've got as the standard for Arsenal Football Club. I want to get back to that left-hand side, the level of a Robert Perez. I want us to get back to the striker of an Henry or a Van Persie. That's what I want us to get back to. Because that's what we won. Yeah, there's a whole lot of bandwidth between a Van Persie and Nketiah. There's a huge gap between Perez and Martinelli. So someone who's better than Martinelli can just probably be here. No, we need someone like closer to Perez's level. You know? That's where I'm at with it. Yes, Emma, did you see Madison did his ACL last? It was the ACL. Fuck me. Oh. Right up. We'll see him in 2027. Now, Hendo. The number 10 for Tottenham Hotspur goes down with an ACL. There's a number 10 on the market in central London, plays at Selhurst Park. Does Tottenham have an obligation to their fans to be like, hey, Arsenal are dragging their feet with this Eze deal. Let's go get Eze. This is why when people tell me, oh, it doesn't matter when you get the player as long as you get them in. No, this is why you get your players in early. Because you can't forecast these types of things. Now Tottenham all of a sudden has a need for number 10. So man like Gary, big up to Don't Waste the Trip, who was here. Oh, we're negotiating with Eze because we're the only one in for him. Who's really linked with him? Well, now Tottenham can be. I haven't seen any reports yet, but 1 + 1 is always 2. If there's a need for something and it's available, they're going to look his way. So Madison goes down with an ACL. Is there a better available number 10 that's Premier League proven in the Premier League right now than Eze? I'm not saying there is or isn't. I'm asking the question genuinely. There is the link for Views on Sports, my people. Please go subscribe to Views if you haven't already. We have 20 likes, people. Thank you so much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Greatly, greatly. I didn't realize Madison did this. I knew it was something bad. The one that he links with. See? This is it. This is it. But if I could go back to 10 streams, 15 streams ago, and they're telling me I'm being too impatient. Transfer window don't close until September 1st. Right? Why are we looking at September 1st when we're talking transfers? The season starts August 17th. It's damn near criminal at this level for teams to procrastinate. You know, at the highest level of football, you're going into a season unprepared. And the mere thought of the transfer window being still open after the season start annoys me. Close the transfer window before the damn season starts. Transfer window closed 1 September. The season should start 1 September then. But then you have man playing this game and can't play, wearing 2 shirts in the season. I don't like it. Going into a season with what you need. We best to move quick. But let them tell it. Let them tell it, Mr. Barry. We're being too impatient. I'm being too impatient. See, we eventually got gyokeres done. So what's when you getting upset over Eze? This is why. This is why. Because football does not revolve around us. Want Mitoma, I think he's more important to get now with the talent the academy has produced. I take Mitoma, but I've heard he signed a new contract and they want like 80 mil for him and he's 28, so Arsenal ain't doing that. And if you're going to pay 80 mil for Mitoma when you could have gotten Rodrigo for 80 mil, then I'm annoyed again. Because I do think Mitoma is an upgrade on Martinelli, but I think Rodrigo is an upgrade on both of them. Both of them. But I hear the Mitoma shout. I actually think he's better than Lookman. I think his touch is class. He may have scored the goal of the season last year and people forgot about it against Chelsea. I think he was in a cup game. I don't think he was a Premier League game, but you go back and watch this goal against Chelsea, you will see, man, this guy, the touch this guy has, mad one. The Europa League final change Lookman. If we can't get Rodrigo, Lookman is the second best option. Yeah, I would go for Mitoma before I go for Lookman still. But Lookman is an upgrade on Martinelli, but at this point, that's a very low bar. You know, you know what would be the best signing of the window? The best signing of the window is the one that we're not going to make. A new damn manager. Yeah. Yeah, a new manager would be the signing. Hey, listen. There'll be a party on this side of the fence the day he gets sacked, you know. I just hope the day he gets sacked is not we're just so bad and so far gone that it's going to take us another 2-3 years to recover from the damage that he's doing to these players. But yeah, Mitoma's a shot. Mitoma is a shot. If Eze ends up at Spurs, then what? Oh, I love this comment, AJ. I love this comment. Because if Eze ends up at Spurs, you know what Arsenal fans are going to do? They're going to say he is shit. They are going to say that he is dog shit. And I don't know if you, man, were able to catch the premiere stream that I did the other day, last night, where I didn't take a dig, but I disagree with the Kepa's Pausa, big him up, make some great videos. His videos are fantastic. But in one of his videos, in trying to tell us that we were wrong about Madueke, he puts up stats like these. Right? And said we were wrong about Madueke because he averages top 1% for progressive carries and carries into penalty area, 6.2, 6.82, and 4.12 per 90. And I'm like, bro, so what? What the hell does this even mean? What the hell does it even mean, my brother? This is how far our fans will go to make up shit to defend what the club is doing, you know. See if I can get a comment off this. This is what they do. This is the truth about Madueke. No, it's not. You ever see the Liverpool fans? You ever see Liverpool fans do this for Mo Salah and talk about his progressive carries? What are Lamine Yamal's progressive carries? This is how far they will go to just make up shit to defend the club. And to be fair to him, he did tell me the source that he got this information from. But this information is just like meaningless analytics, man. And then there was this one. Top 4% for touches in attacking penalty area, 8.15 per 90. So I'm guessing I can surmise from this that he touches the ball 8.15%, 8 times in the opponent's box per 90 minutes. But if he touches the ball 8 times per game in the opponent area, explain how you finish the season on this shit here. 8 times. Every game you play, you touch the ball 8 times. Every game where you end the season of 38 game campaign on 8 fucking goals. What the fuck does this even mean? Like what constitutes a progressive carry? You run with the ball 10 yards, 5 yards? Okay. So what? And with this 4%, what if he kicks the ball over the damn bar every single time he touches the ball? See, the stats won't tell you that now, will it? And what's the standard that you're measuring this against? Like, is this even a good number? Top 4%. That means the top 5% is shit and the top 3% are better than him. This is what I'm saying. This is what they will do. I could not get over this shit. Top 1% for progressive carries and carries into the penalty area, 6.2 and 4.12 per 90. Sounds brilliant, don't it? Right out. Come on now. We watch football. Like, I'm compelled to believe that analytics were meant for people who don't understand football to make it sound like they knew what the hell they're talking about. And I'm not talking about Cape as AP himself. I'm talking about the analytic geeks who only use analytics. They use analytics. Because, brother, I'm not going to go on FJ Bird to look up all that bullshit to verify that information. I'm not. I just know that on Saturday, August 17th, I want to see that those progressive carries turn into something. Like, normally when people are talking about progressive carries and all this other stuff, it's because the numbers that truly matter, you don't measure up. You know, you look at Mo Salah, you be like, okay, man scored this many goals, this many game winners. And I want to hit us with aggressive carry. And right out. Yes. But I just went off on a little tangent there. But yeah, I thought that was important. So big up to AJ for that question. Unfortunately, there was I can't believe they called it first. I think he did pick up an injury. I'm not sure if it was an ACL. I haven't seen any injury reports, but he did pick up an injury. Awful down and I discussed yesterday. Nelson is massive. Fulham want to buy him. Use the money to get Anthony Robinson for a club. I hear it. Even though not really happy to see more defensive players coming in right now when we need, to bolster our attack. Talking of Palace, Newcastle going back in for Gahey again. So as Liverpool have interest in Gahey, no? I'm actually worried that if Liverpool gets Gahey before we pry Eze away, then Palace would be less inclined to sell. They don't want to sell their best defender and their best attacker in the same window. Spurs and Bayern are both after Eze. Yep. Leave it. Everton, Odegaard, according to Mother Hubbard. I want to see their progressive carries. I want to see Odegaard's progressive carries. And the thing with those stats that they make up, right, is if you were doing all that when he was a Chelsea player, I would hear it. But it's just the minute that they get linked with Arsenal that all of a sudden we care about progressive carries and all that shit. Nah. Rumors Al Hilal will offer 90 million euros for Nunez. Oh my days. More money for Liverpool. Kitching. E. Ross says, facts, BBK, bro. That's the problem with Arsenal. Sick to death of the nickel and diamond for our top players, but then we'll pay out of pocket for bang average players. Pay out the ass for bang average players in an ample time before the season. Right. And it's the thing. I've actually heard this. I've actually heard Arsenal fans talking about City, Liverpool, City and Chelsea. They were buying the league, and now they're saying Liverpool is saying it. Oh, Liverpool are buying the league. Look at all the money they're spending. But we could have gotten Eze for cheap. Nah. You can't be accused of buying the league when you have the money to spend and not spend it. Arteta would cost £31.72 million to sack today. Why we not just pay him out? That could be the best signing. Best signing of the window, man. Rip the Band-Aid all the way off. Yeah, and let the healing start. Let the healing start right away. Progressive carries, man. Progressive carries. Not just carries and progressive carries. Independent area. And then the ball away. It makes my head hurt. Makes my head absolutely hurt when these men go to that length. If Noni was good enough, Chelsea would have never sold him to us. That simple. Never sold him to us, AJ. Not only did they sell him to us, they sold him to us the day before they played in a final against the best team in Europe. And he is so good. So damn good. Imagine that. Chelsea have outgrown the player. That's why they're moving him on. So imagine, speaking of Chelsea, imagine Enzo Maresca comes up with Chelsea, comes up with Leicester, right? Leaves Leicester, goes to Chelsea, brings Dewsbury Hall with him, realizes Dewsbury Hall isn't good enough and sells him the next window, the very next year. He's been agreed to terms with Burnley today. So you see the turnover when they realize players aren't good enough. Martinelli's about to go into a third bad season. That good season that he had was 3 years ago. 22-23. We're about to start 25-26, and we're about to go back in with him. Right? Havertz about to go into a third bad season. Odegaard, just to name a few. Reece. Like someone said earlier, Reece always looked good in the preseason, then the season starts, and then he turns into his level. Right? How is it that Chelsea are able to move on from players that they have outgrown so quickly, but we haggled with them for 3-4 years? Touches in the area. Oz. Mother Hubbard shuffles a pack of cards, believing that the shuffle card chances is everything. It's the same cards in different positions. Yeah. It's just hitting hope, innit? That's what he does. He plays the probability by spamming crosses in the box and hoping it finds the head. Finds the head of an Arsenal player. When it crosses, we might hit our players 10 to 11 times. Out of those 10 to 11 times, 5 out of those 10 times might create a good chance. Out of those 5, we may score 2 goals. It's just accuracy by volume. Right. That's what I said. I wasn't taking a dig at Cave himself because he is a good dude. And the video is brilliant, right? The voiceovers and the graphics, it's a fantastic video. Probably his most popular video on this channel. but there's no substance. Because what's the why? Why is he so good at progressive carries? Okay, carry the ball where? And gives it to who? Yeah. It's a bad big pause. True about analytics. And I don't think all analytics are useless. I think the medical staff needs some fucking analytics to see when the players are at the red line and they're close to burnout. But I don't want to hear progressive carries about analytics about progressive carries. And, someone put in a comment afterwards that Norgard has the most progressive passes between the 65th and the 70th minute on the left side of the pitch on stadiums that hold 40,000 or more. Like there's never ending with this analytics shit. You can make up anything to make any player sound like a world beater. Because there's no standard that you're measuring them to. You're just making up shit. You want a state that matter. Arteta's first trophy from a possible 20. A stat that matters. Yeah. One from a 22. But that's an uncomfortable conversation, AJ. They don't want that. They'll go find nuance and context within why this is so. And ignore the main reason. You hit the like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you're popping in and out, greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. What is a progressive carry? Is beating a man off the dribble. That's what I'm saying, boy, Tendio. They just make this shit up as they go. They're trying to reinvent football, trying to make it complicated and call you stupid when you don't subscribe to it. Oh, I'm not it's a mad one. Aaron, that's you, my bro. I could probably send you this. I've been talking so much. Let me send this link to Aaron, people. See if he can hop on. If he wants to drop on, because I want to know what he thinks about these analytics stats. My goodness. It means you dribble the ball in the box. Pause. So actually, when I look, there's actually AI metric for it, where it says if you have to, typically you carry the ball 10 or more meters. Doesn't necessarily mean you beat your man or get by your man. It just means you're able to run with the ball. So if that metric, like Adama Traore will probably have a ridiculous high progressive carry rate. But who wants Adama Traore in their squad? Who wants that? Anyone will take Adama Traore at Arsenal, because I'm pretty sure he progressively carries the ball a hell of a lot better than Noni Analytics. What are we saying? What are we saying? People who lean on analytics and expert opinion don't know what they're looking at. But that's what I'm saying. They don't know the game at a certain level, but they can use numbers to tell them a story, right? Yeah, they can, because that's what numbers were meant to do anyway, right? The universal language that you can use to compute and quantify things to make sense to a decision maker or an investor, stakeholders. Yeah, right out. Pick up agent Darren. Here's something else that needs to be said. The Arsenal ladies have fixed every single squad problem before they play in their first game this preseason. Just shows the difference. This how? That's the only question I have with that. Like how? But I do know how still. I know how. I'm gonna liken that to American sports again. Like we have in college football or college sports in general, you have some schools that are institutions here in these United States. Some of them are basketball schools, some of them are football schools, like American football, NFL schools, right? So for example, the University of North Carolina, the Tar Heels, it's a basketball school, right? If there's a problem in the basketball recruiting, they will fix that before they look at the football or any other, because that's their cash cow. That just Michael Jordan, Vince Carter, Kenny Smith, all these men went to the University of Duke University, a basketball school. Kyrie Irving, these men went to Duke. So if there's something wrong with the football program at Duke, it's not a priority. The basketball is the priority. You got schools like the University of Alabama. That is a football school. If the basketball team needs some attention and the football program needs some attention, the football program is the priority. The University of Florida, the Gators, they're pretty good at both. Right? They are pretty good at both. But the analytics thing, it gets out of control, and it compels me to believe that if I have to go to that lengths and that mental gymnastics to dig up stats on what you are good at other than GA as an attacking player, it worries me. It worries me. But I'm not big on analytics. I mean, are you? Not like Aaron is here, people. Aaron, what are you saying, brother? Are you an analytics guy, Aaron? What you telling me? Are you big on analytics?
No, I'm more of trust the processors. These my eyes. I trust my eyes. You know, of course, I don't know exactly 100%. I've come in so late. When you mean like the analytics, do you mean sort of like numbers and things like this? And if you do, of course, I trust somewhat a degree of that. So if a striker's putting in, i.e. gyokeres, I've used more so the statistics than the eye test for that when we're comparing it to Sesko. So, of course, i.e. 89 goals scored in the league in the last 3 seasons as opposed to 43. I'd use it for something like that, but I believe in it. I believe in a lot of eye test. I think when you start sort of deepening ridiculous stats. Now, Taron, I think we're of a similar-ish of age. We grew up and watching football in the 90s, and you only just sort of had goals, assists, and all of them things. We've grown up on that. And that's sort of what I use now. I think that's a fair enough sort of metric to look at. But when you start going into field tilt, when you start going into all of this, I don't even know what it is still today. Do you know why, Taron? Because I don't want to learn it. Because it's nonsense. Who cares? Maybe that might have been what you was on about. It might not have been. If it wasn't, I still apologise, my friend.
No. So what it is, there's a.
And thank you for letting me on, by the way.
Oh man, thank you for having time for me, my brother. I appreciate it.
Come on, man. Anytime. Come on.
Yeah, the Noni Analytics thing. I was having a back and forth with another content creator who's trying to tell me that I'm wrong about Noni Analytics. One of the things that he used to justify Noni Analytics signing is stats like these. When he says Noni Analytics ranks in the top 4 for touches in attacking penalty area, 8.15 per 90. And then I asked, like, what does this mean? Like, what does this actually, to what standard is this being compared? Is the top 4% the cream of the crop? Or what does this, so you're telling me he touches the ball 8 times per 90 minutes?
Okay, so in the last 3 years has he only scored 13 Premier League goals and got less assists then?
Right. And these are his numbers. That's if you touch the ball 8 times and you finish the season with that. That's not a great stat. But then the chat was on this one, and I was saying about top 1% in progressive carries and carries into the 6. And this is where it goes too far for me.
But what do you do with it? That's all well and good. What do you do with it? And the statistics say he doesn't do much of it.
Yeah. Right. And then, for anyone in the chat who watches basketball, I would ask you to Google a guy named Steph Curry. He's the greatest shooter to ever play basketball. But he shoots the ball at 44%, 47%. The guy next to him shoots the ball at 67%. But the guy on the right is DeAndre. He is so bad at shooting, the coach will tell him, unless it's a dunk, do not shoot the basketball. But if someone who doesn't watch basketball look at this, they would think that based on the numbers, this guy is the better shooter than Steph Curry. So when I watch like the progressive carry, I had to go look it up and say, okay. And the not verbatim, but it really means you run with the ball 10 to 15 meters. So then I think of a guy that popped in my head was Adama Traore. So I'm like, oh my God, he progresses the ball a lot because all he does is kick the ball and run.
Yeah. So
his progressive carry must be ridiculously high. And I don't know anyone who would want an Adama Traore in our Arsenal team. So if you're using that to justify Noni Analytics, it tells me that the things that we need that would make him a good winger, he's not good at. So you have to resort to something else.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from, mate. Like I do. Listen, it's all well and good having a good stat before the stat that matters. But do you know what? That's what determines probably a good player into a great player. And sometimes you can also say that, and what determines a great player into a world-class player. You might have unbelievable stats before the stat that matters, whether you can assist a player more times than you can't, whether you can put the ball in the net more than most can't. And then that's what probably determines the difference between a really good player and then a world-class player, i.e. when you step up to them levels like the Gareth Bales, the Ronaldos, the Neymars, the Messis, etc. That's when that step up occurs. Now you might be a great player, but when you can do it significantly more, when you can make that pass, when you can put the ball in the net significantly more than a really, really good player can, that brings you up to elite level. Hence why we've seen freaks and unbelievable players over the last couple of years. There's always stats. You can do that thing, the pre-assist or whatever, until the cows come home. But essentially, can you make that decisive pass? Can you put the ball in the net when it really matters? And that's what separates people. That's what separates the good from the great. It always has done, and it always will do, my friend.
Even XG, even though I do believe in XG, I don't know if I believe in it because it's just been a thing now, or they tell you it, they hammer it home in your head. Oh, XG become part of the game. So you kind of have to accept it if you're going to speak football at some level with some people, because XG is part of the game, right? But XG has its faults of its own, because it doesn't take certain things into account that I watch. Okay, because you can see two teams play, Aaron. One team will have 70% possession, one will have 28%. But the team that had 28% possession had a higher XG than the team that had the ball most of the time. So that tells me, okay, the team with the high possession with a bunch of meaningless passes, you turn the ball over. This team had a clear shot at your goal. Or if a player XG for a single player, it doesn't take into a chance who the defender was against them. How many were they playing against 10 or 9 men? People got sent.
Quality of finisher, whether it's Holland already and Nketiah.
Right. Was the goalkeeper Allison or was the goalkeeper Ramsdale? Because there's an aura about Thibaut Courtois that would make a striker think twice and do things they don't have to do. So it's so many factors that go into it that skew it for me. So people who constantly just rely too heavily on the stats and analytics, I'm like you always say, listen with your eyes, yeah. So it's brother, I don't know, man. But
but that's fact though. That's fact. People, that's what they're doing, and the same thing can sort of be said. I think, listen with your eyes. People do. They need telling visually now, and also it's an actual apt fact. And what you just made it in. What do your eyes say? Because we trust our eyes. We trust our eyes in so many things, through life. And when I'm looking at a footballer, the first thing you do before you know the stats is you go, "Wow, that geezer's good."
Yeah,
it's your basic instinct, is it not? You don't go to football and with your card and thinking, well, I've heard that the field tilt and everything like that. And you don't go down with a pad. You look at the geezer that's tearing the defense apart, and you go, wow, that is something good. Yeah. You do, didn't you? You what gets you off your seat when you're sitting and watching a football game isn't the metrics on a piece of paper. It's whether someone's doing an Alexis Sanchez, dear. Come on, do you know what I mean? Look at Alexis Sanchez, bro. We all watched that geezer. That geezer was hot. He absolutely tore the place apart. And you know that the second he was given the ball, something's going to happen. Yeah. You can't quantify that down into paper. And even though he actually ridiculously put the high numbers as well, that's what put him in that bracket above. Right. He weren't just electrifying on the eye, he delivered. Yeah. So he had the numbers and that.
Yeah. And the thing with the numbers, right, Aaron? At the end of his career, Marcus Rashford will have better numbers than Ronaldinho. At the end of his career. So 50 years from now, if someone just purely looks back at the numbers, they will look at this Ronaldinho guy was shit, but this Rashford guy was. But then anyone who watched football, you like, brother, these people do not only do they not sit at the same table, they don't enter the same building. Like there's like when you
they're not even in the country in that building, mate.
Yeah, like when you board one of these transatlantic flights, they have two separate entrances for the coach and the business class people with the cabins. Yeah, you don't even get to see up there, Rashford. But you have better stats because you're a frequent flyer. You have more miles. But when this guy flies, he flies in style. Yeah, one of them. Come ones. On, man. But, brother, I want to ask you about Wednesday. Yeah. Does he have to start Gyokeres?
Yes. And I'll tell you for why. This is a massive, important thing. And I've said this just before the weekend. If he doesn't start Victor Gyokeres, and in fact, let me round this off by saying this. He's played, 13 minutes, 13. Victor Gyokeres, okay? Mm-hmm. How long is it until we play Manchester United? Less than 2 weeks. Yeah?
13 days, yep.
Exactly, less than 2 weeks. So then we're going to ask Victor Gyokeres and expect him to start if he only has 15 minutes or 30 minutes under his name and then doesn't start against Villareal and then gets so minutes against Bilbao. Do we not think that Arteta is going to start Kai Havertz, who's got superior minutes to him? This is what we need to see. This is how we work out whether he's going to start off Victor Gyokeres or not, based on the minutes. Because how can you put him in? And I'm not on about our trail of thought. I'm really not. I'm on about Mikel's trail of thought, which we know we have to enter a whole new level of when we're trying to think how Mikel Arteta thinks. But that's the worrying thing. How many minutes is Gyokeres going to get in the next 180 maximum available in order for him to be eligible under Mikel Arteta's to start? I actually think it needs to be probably about 120-ish. That's where I'm thinking. He's going to have to get them sort of minutes to be in contention. And do you know what the worrying thing about this is for me, my friend? Is he doesn't get them the requisite minutes. And then he doesn't start at that Manchester United game. And people will sleep, massively sleep. They're snoring on the fact that how big this Manchester United game is, because this just isn't your run-of-the-mill, wow, we're playing Manchester United away in the first game of the season. This is probably going to be a tone setter for our next 6 games. And by that, I mean, if Arsenal Football Club don't come out of the first 6 games in that Premier League, ta-la, Control, Alt, Delete the season. We ain't going to win it. And I'll tell you for why. Because there will be direct correlation between how well Arsenal Football Club start the season and the result against Manchester United. Because if we turn up and we play Kai Havertz, who, by the way, if it's 0-0 in the 89th minute, I would rather a broken-legged Victor Gyokeres have a one-on-one opportunity than a fully on form and firing Kai Havertz against whatever goalkeeper that they've got in there, by the way. Let's just get that absolutely right. If we don't get a positive result against Manchester United, and by positive, I mean 3 points, then that makes the Leeds game a little bit harder. And that's Leeds' first game away from Ellen Road in the Premier League. They're going to be right up for. Now, I'm not saying we're going to lose it or we're going to draw it, but that's going to be a difficult game if we don't pick up 3 points and get that first win under our belt instantaneously. What does that do then? Oh, yeah. How does it get harder? Liverpool away. At where? Oh, yeah, we know. Anfield, where we haven't won since 2012. Santi Cazorla and Lucas Podolski settings. Come on, we all remember the kit. Purple and black hoops. We all remember the kit. What a kit, by the way. Yeah, that was a long time ago. That's how long we ain't won there. You don't win that game. All of a sudden, guess what? You're 5 or 6 points behind Liverpool with 3 games played. We couldn't even muster that over 38 games. We couldn't even beat them, by the way. Yeah. And then it don't get easier. You get a little treat, apparently, against Nottingham Forest. But then you've got then you've got Manchester City at home and Newcastle away. Domestically, we couldn't even put a shot over there. A half decent shot, we couldn't even register in 3 games against them. So the point I'm trying to make is people are sleeping massively on how big this Manchester United fixture is. And if Mikel Arteta is going to piss around, absolutely piss around and play last season's team, Salah, Control, Alt, Delete. Yeah. What's the fucking point?
Yeah, you know what?
It's frustrating. What's the point of buying the striker if you're going to start and be out of the competition within fucking August? I mean, come on. That's how I see it.
You know, you made a great point there, because I didn't even think of it from that angle of what Mikel is, because I thought he was actually trying to play Kai Havertz into form, that way he wouldn't have to start Gyokeres. I am of the opinion, because I've heard that we played Watford in the behind the scenes 2-0 win, and I heard Havertz scored in that game. That's why I think he played Havertz 79 minutes against AC Milan. Everyone else played a maximum of 66 minutes. Havertz played 79. And then Havertz started again and played heavy minutes. I think he was trying to play Havertz in a form so he can just, okay, he has the most minutes. He's in form. He's scoring goals. So I have to start him against Man United. The fact that he hasn't scored puts him in a pickle. And that's why I'm asking the question. If he does not start Gyokeres with the first team, with Zubimendi, with Odegaard, and all these, so they can play as a collective bunch for at least 45 minutes, because it can't be a situation where we go to Old Trafford and they're playing for the first time together in that match. Then you're asking for trouble. I do believe that Amorim will give him a problem to solve on August 17th. Do I trust him to solve it? No, because I just seen Thomas Frank give you a problem to solve and you struggle to break that down. Now, I don't have any hopes that Eze will be in the squad and be an Arsenal player by then. I mean, what are your thoughts on Eze? Do you think we get Eze?
Do you know what? I've had this discussion plenty of times on my channel. I've had this disagreement with everyone across the board, including mainly Terry from the
Football Terrace.
We have this disagreement all the time, and their disagreement is it doesn't really matter when the players come in. Yes, it does. It always has done and it always will do. Find me more positives to getting your players in order, and then there ain't. So what I'm saying is we signed Madueke. This is the example that I'm going to say. Yeah, we signed Madueke. It was like, it doesn't really matter if you sign Madueke. It just depends if you get them all. Okay, cool. So we've signed Madueke when we didn't need to sell to buy, but now we need to sell to buy in order to strengthen our left-hand wing. Yes, it does matter then. Yes, it does. So you're telling me that Arsenal's preference was to make a backup signing for Bukayo Saka instead of improve our left-hand side? Is that where we're going here? Because that's fucking ridiculous, mate. That is ridiculous. So, okay, cool. So let's just say, who else was in for Madueke? Who else was in for him? Oh, yeah. No one. No one was in for him. So why can't we put that on the back burner, save 55 million quid and go, do you know what? There we go. We've all of a sudden got 55 million quid to play with. Eze, you can come in, and do you know what, Chelsea? Maybe we'll come in for Madueke. If not, oh well. It's not rocket science, is it? It's not rocket science. So the fact that we've got our backup right winger in has now hindered our starting left winger. That is stupid. That's so stupid. How can you quantify that level of dum-dum? Like, I don't understand. But that's what Arsenal Football Club do. And that's what we're expected to be. Come on. What are we actually doing with it? So, if so facto, it bloody does matter what order you can get them in if there is financial restraints on it. That's why we ain't got Eze in the door. Can you imagine we had still 55 million quid in the coffers to spend? We'd have had him in, probably. We don't know this for an absolute fact, but Eze would have come in. Can I see him coming in? Maybe as a late thing. But do you know what? By the time the window ends, there's going to be 3 fixtures that's played. And Arsenal Football Club could find themselves 5 or 6 points behind. So it'd probably be more of a signing of desperation than anything like that. And is that needed? We could have just had him in anyway and then just added the Madueke if we was so wanted. Who else wanted Madueke? No one.
No one.
No one.
Even yesterday's stream, I started with I tried to debunk that lie, because the article that I read on Sky Sports was Arsenal are now linked with in-demand winger. And I was like, no, stop.
Yeah.
There is no in-demand. There's only Arsenal wanted him. Chelsea didn't want him, and he was a Chelsea player. They told him the day before a final. I always ask people, if we are in a final the day before a final, do you think we sell Trossard, Martinelli, any of our wingers the day before we go into a final? PSG could have probably give you a problem that Madueke may or may not help you solve, but they weren't even willing to go there. They were like, no, go to Arsenal. They called the Uber for him so fast. And another thing with the dragging your feet to a transfer. Okay, James Maddison, I'm hearing, tore his ACL yesterday. So all of a sudden, there's the need for a number 10 in the Tottenham squad. Now, Tottenham, they owe it to their fans to at least ask the question, Eze, you're in London. Yeah. What's up? Do you want, all right, Bayern Munich, Jamal Musiala, there's no telling how he might come back from that ankle injury. He is, but they couldn't even ask Florian Wirtz that question. He's already a Liverpool player, right? Sewed up and locked up. So it completely annoys me when they run that narrative of what order. It absolutely does matter. But big up to the assembled. He said, Aaron, do you think that it would be a master stroke if Mother Hubbard, aka Arteta, sold Havertz? With him gone, I truly believe most of the problems would disappear.
Big up the assemble, by the way. Big up to my friend. I think a lot of Arsenal's problems would be solved. I don't just think it would be reliant on that forward line. You'd free up 280k a week, which is obviously over £1 million a year. The geezer's on about 13-14 million pound a season. And what's the return from it? There's no return. The geezer hasn't led us to a title. He's not the midfield masterstroke he was actually signed originally to be. I mean, actually, if you want to somewhat fair dues to geezer, he's done a somewhat okayish job as a striker, but that is probably just easily debunked by when you say, okay, so he's a striker, he's done a better job than he did in midfield, but on 280k a week at 65 million, he ain't done the good job as a striker would be attended. So yeah, we've ballsed up, and that's Mikel Arteta's boy. We will live and we will die by that problem. And to answer your questions, if he was not here, let's just even say we didn't even have any money for him. Let's just say, for argument's sake, we tore up his contract. We would actually at least be able to go into that position. Like, I reckon Arsenal would have been, what Arsenal's in terms of the striking position would have been a fantastic thing is we would have signed Jonathan David on a free and signed Victor Gyokeres and got rid of or Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. Because we desperately need to start again in this position, because that's 550k a week, by the way. And that cost us over £100 million to sign them to. Yeah, we have needed a refreshment amongst so many positions, especially that strike force. Can you imagine how fresh it would have been going in there with no Gabriel Jesus, no Kai Havertz, and having Victor Gyokeres and Jonathan David there battling it out? Can you imagine how fresher the team would have felt if you'd have had Rodrigo, or even if you wanted to play Eze in the left, which I don't agree with, by the way, and just sold one of Martinelli or Trossard. It would just, that strike force needs freshen up. This isn't just me saying it. Come on, if you look at it, we will probably realistically start that first game with Kai Havertz or Trossard on the left, Saka on the right, probably Kai Havertz up front. Snore, or we've tried that for the last 2 years, and what have we achieved in the last 2 years? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Zero. It's boring. It's stale. Show me something new. Get Gyokeres fit. Play him up front. Bin one of Martinelli or Gyokeres or Trossard. Show me something new, Mikel Arteta. But what did we do? What have we seen in that Tottenham game? I know it's only, by the way, it's only a pre-season friendly. What did we see? What did we see? No different tactics in all of the games, by the way. It's the same tactics. And do you know what he done when he had the opportunity to play his new 2 starting shiny toys? He didn't start Zubamendi, and he brought on Gyokeres after fucking 80-odd minutes. So what do you think's going to change next season if he don't want to bring on his new signings and he's playing the same style of football? Yeah.
And I'm also glad that the fan base got to see what the team would look like when Zubamendi gets a knock or is rotated if he plays that Norgard in the 6. The same Norgard that they're telling me was good business, because whenever DR Sports or AFTV, whenever I see him use these 2 words to describe a player, good business, it's usually the player's shit. Norgard, Kepa, Willian was on a free, good business. I remember Willian played against Fulham the first 2 games, had 2 assists in that game, and finished the season with 1 goal. 1 goal for an entire Premier League campaign. This is absolutely criminal what we're doing. But he must start. He must start. I think Gyokeres is a must start. But then on Wednesday, when I look at that lineup, I will not be shocked to the heavens if I see Kai Havertz's name on the street. I will not, because that's just how the manager rolls.
Taron, you absolute legend. People like and subscribe, by the way. This is the worrying thing. How long is it going to take for Arsenal Football Club to realise that this is going to be an issue? Another season? Another season where we waste all of our money, all of our time. We make sacrifices to everything. Just another season, because we're talking on that side of the fence, very high-paid managers, footballs, CEOs, everything like that. But geezers like us, who in any way, shape or form, however, how much your output is, we still are the ones that pay the price. And that's what pisses me off. There's people that pay more of a price than I do. There's people that pay less than the price, but we all pay the price. The piper needs paying, and we're the ones that pay it, not all of these lot. So it's just going to be control, alt, delete the season yet again. people are going to go and look how toxic and negative these are.
Mm-hmm.
But whilst all the top gooners are just going to be like, just trust the process. Oh, you know, it's better than finishing third. Oh, it's better than this and all that. The excuses just pile on. Lardy, 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 la. And we go into a 7th season where we don't win anything. It's just frustrating, my friend.
Yeah.
It really is. All we want is for Arsenal Football Club to be successful. And we know that under this current setup, current regime, current transfer plan, current this, current that, Arsenal Football Club, gauged over historical facts, which is how bookies, by the way, which is how bookies are multi-billionaires, because they can't predict the future. They're not Nostradamus. They're not no descendants of that. What do? They pick up, they gauge off of historical events and gauge likelihood and give you a price.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what I'm telling you. What's the likelihood that nothing changes under Mikel Arteta? That's all I'm doing. Gauging over 5.5 years of failures, 19 competitions entered since we won the FA Cup, 19 consecutive failures. What's the fucking odds that we win something big next year? Statistically, probably little.
Yeah.
And if nothing changes, we've got still the same narcissistic little tyrant that is leading at the helm of Arsenal Football Club. We've got the same clueless owners and we've got the same shit playing squad.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Why do we think that something's going to change when nothing's changing?
Yeah, I don't know why we expect because here's what I've been told, right? I've seen Arsenal. I've been told that Berta was the best available sporting director on the market. We went and got him, right? Gyokeres was the best available striker on the market. We went and got him. Zubimendi was the best available 6 on the market. We went and got him. Okay, well, is there a better number 10 available in the Premier League right now other than Eze? we clearly have a need for it.
I like that.
We clearly have a need for it. So, when I'm told that we got the best this and we get the best that, and then I run the Eze thing by him, I'm like, okay, Eze is the best available. Are we not going to get him on? Then I get the word salad of, oh, we're in negotiation, this and that. I'm like, brother, we let the release clause expire because we want to pay less. I don't think that helps you if you have a release clause, because now you have to negotiate with Palace. They're going into a Europa League campaign. They're not going to weaken their squad going into a Europa League or a Conference League, whichever the cast puts them in. But they do have Europe. I've seen Europe hurt weaker squads on a Thursday, Sunday than at Palace. Teams with bigger squad, us, Tottenham. So they're not inclined. They owe it to their fan base to protect their assets in going into a Europe. Crystal Palace have doubled down before when they said we're not selling our 2 best players in the market. Last year with Elise, they only let 1 go. So we know that they mean what they say. So I am worried. Whenever a player or an incident happens in the Premier League, I ask myself, okay, how does this affect Arsenal? How does this? So when I saw James Maddison pull up with an injury, it immediately went through my head, they're going to be in for Eze now. That's the first thought that I had. And oh my God, dude. That happens. And then, or it turns into a bidding war, then we know how that goes, because we love to run away from a bidding war. And then it become a deadline day fiasco with another Chelsea reject. And Kuko and Chilwell incoming, because we need a left back now, apparently. Apparently we need a left back now, because we just let the starting left back for Scotland walk out the club for free.
Why?
But we need a left back.
Why?
Now.
We could have just given him another year.
Yeah.
Mate, I've said this so many times with Tierney, and I know obviously I won't burn too many minutes on it. Yeah. But with Kieran Tierney, there's no way that Berta came in and went, oh, do you know what? Yeah, that Tierney looks good. Yeah. What's his contract length? And someone's gone, Arteta didn't renew it. He's leaving for free at Celtic, and Berta must have just gone, you taking the absolute so-and-so. Give me 1 second, I'll be back.
Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. The Assembled says, what are we calling a striker force? In my recollection, a striker force is a center forward with or without a partner. Wingers and midfield supply the striker force. So that's the Assembled. This doesn't exist anymore in modern day football. It's analytics, it's progressive carries and shit, right? That's what it is, a strike force. Your wingers were meant to create for your striker. Yeah, get by your man, do a cutback, put the ball in, be direct. But now we have evolved into something completely different. And you're called stupid if you don't understand, or you don't subscribe to. I don't want to say don't understand, because it's not like analytics is a different language. It's just something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to modern day football, because football is a simple game. I don't know why we're going to this length to try to complicate it. It's ridiculous. Don't worry, Tyron. King Kai will be at left wing or in the midfield. If I see Kai Havertz as anywhere out to the left, I'm turning off the TV. I'm turning off TV. No, I'm not. I am not. I'm not subscribing. I'm not gonna disrespect my eyes like that. Big up to the Latvian Gunner again. Said top Gunners last year tweeted that Odegaard is better than Pedri, Valverde, and more. Some even said he is better than David Silva. There is no hope. And I guarantee you, Latvian Gunner, that they had some metric. They had some analytical data that could have backed this up. Because I've seen him do it with Mustafi. I've seen Arsenal fans put together a montage, a compilation, and stats to back it up that showed that Mustafi had higher ratings and dribbled against aerial duels won than Virgin van Dijk. Mustafi, the guy who I saw got chased through the streets of Germany at Schalke 04 back in 2021. Exit price is 80 M's. Pounds or euros? Pounds, isn't it? So we let a 68 million pound release clause expire. A 65 million pound release clause that Palace would have accepted 30 up front. I swear I can't with this club. Keatina leaving was decided years ago though, and the Celtic contract was signed in December. But that's the thing. He doesn't invert. But do we invert both our fullbacks at the same time? I mean, there will be games when you don't need to invert from the left-hand side. Maybe the advantage is for you to invert from the right, and you have Timber and you have Ben White that can do that. How many times have we seen? I've seen Tierney came on many times and whipped in so many beautiful crosses, put right in the breadbasket for Kai Havertz, and he made a meal of it. I think Gyokeres could actually benefit from a traditional fullback in the team. What are your thoughts?
I think the whole team could benefit. Do you know what Arsenal Football Club done with letting Kieran Tierney go? Especially considering they could have just renewed him. They let a plan B go, and that's exactly what they've done. So they've got Lewis Skelly playing out of position there, who done very well last season. And people don't like it when I say this, but he's still a big question mark. You can't just go, he had a really good season playing at left back. That's it. He's going to be the best left back ever based on that. You know, you need to see a couple of seasons out of someone before you could definitively go, that is a proper good left back. No, Lewis Skelly might still. I mean, he might have the same season as last season, and I bloody hope he does, because it means Arsenal do better at defensive solidarity. But if you're looking at the goalkeeper and then the back four, and you have to say you've got a gun to your head and go, who's the biggest question mark at that back four? You're going to go to the left back scenario. Now, I think Kieran Tierney, we don't have to invert all the time. And if you put a Kieran Tierney there, at least you know you've got defensive solidarity. But like I said, you've also got a plan B with that guy. Now, a decent manager, unlike Mikel Arteta, would have known that. And then have gone, do you know what? We've still got him in the squad for next year. Okay, you might not be our starting guy. But I tell you what, when something isn't working, when this inverted thing isn't working, we could bring on Kieran Tierney. We could gameplay this. We could start him in certain games for teams that maybe the inverted play doesn't really work well against. Every team needs a plan B. They do. And we gave ours away. In favour for what? Calafuriasu, by the way, who never...
Who?
Calafuriasu, another injury-prone geezer. So we might as well just... That's it. Calafuriasu is just injury. That's that. He'll probably play sparingly this season. Now we've got to rely on, and this is the biggest problem with this. We have now cornered ourselves into a position where we have to rely on this 18-year-old guy who only came through last season to be to be what Timber is at right back. Oh, we didn't buy Timber as a 17-year-old kid. We bought him as an established player. You know, you can't expect that off of the left-hand side, isn't it? And do you know what? If he does it, MLS, buzzing, all the power to him. I want him to do well because it means Arsenal do well. But we've just leave ourselves open every single time. Come on. Like, do you think Arsenal Football Club would have benefited from having a Kieran Tierney in the squad? Yes. Yeah. And I believe if you asked 1,000 honest Arsenal fans, Tommy Fury,
that's a good one.
You know what I'm on about? Yeah. This is what we're saying, real one, my lord, mate. Come on. Well, this is what we're saying. If whoever would have said no, we won't benefit that. Clearly, ain't an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
And it almost as well. Sorry to cut you there. almost shows the inept ability for this manager to be able to change things.
Yeah.
Because when something isn't working, you could just go, here you go, Kieran, whip some balls in. And what did we see last year when he came on? How unbelievably accurate. And how many chances did actually Kieran Tierney's balls cross through as passes, not his balls, you know. They were dangerous. They set up a lot of Calafriasso.
Yeah, they were good. They were good. But the thing with the same concept that you described our defense was, I take it to the midfield as well, because I'm looking at the season. I want a scenario to exist at Arsenal Football Club when we can rest a Declan Rice and still field a strong team. Because I've seen Man City in their gauntlet, in their running, in must-win games, had sit Kevin De Bruyne and started Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, and Rodri. We don't have that luxury. Like in games where we know we're gonna have 70% possession of the ball, you don't need 2 6s, or you don't need to fit 2 defensive midfielders. You can sit a Zubimendi, you play Declan Rice in the 6, and you go out and you attack. Or when you kill teams off, you do some rotation in this, because you got to figure out a way to get Max Diamond some minutes this year, Arteta. Like, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen to him? Like, with his development, do we keep it? Because I'm reading that he's too young to be loaned out, too young to play Champions League. So that kind of makes Arteta's decision for him. He's only going to be able to play in England, possibly in the Premier League game. So I want to see him play 1,200 to 1,500 minutes this cup. Ethan, we were crying out to play more minutes last year, play 889 minutes, just for context. So I would love to see Max Diamond play at the highest level, 1,200 to 1,500 minutes. How do you think they'll manage his development?
I think, it's absolutely up to say his development needs managing. My worry is we've got a creative career ender as a manager, and his name's Prickel Arteta. He's a career ender. You know, when you've only got to look through last season, we don't have to decipher the last 5.5 years that he's been there. We can decipher the last year. He had an unbelievable talent, and his name was Ethan Nwaneri, ready to play in the same or similar-ish position that Max Diamond was likely to play. Now, I said this on Dan Potter's show, and it barely got unrivaled, because when people know that you're talking facts, you're talking facts. Okay? And I'll repeat that. It took Odegaard, it took Saka to get injured, and Ethan Nwaneri still did not get minutes. And that's not because of he wasn't good enough. It wasn't because of there was a better replacement ahead of him, because there wasn't. It's because Mikel Arteta doesn't trust and doesn't know how to manage youth. And that's the core of my point. And that's what you're asking. He doesn't know how to manage youth. Mikel Arteta only knows how to use youth in terms of youthful players when he's backed into a corner, when there's absolutely no other. Now you look at it. He didn't play him, Odegaard injured, didn't play him with Saka. It only took when Martinelli and Kai Havertz also got injured for him to go, shit, we actually haven't got anyone else to play here. And the same was likely said when he joined the club and he had to play Emile Smith-Rowe, and he played Saka against Chelsea 2019, 22nd, I believe it was, of December. There or thereabouts, might have been the 23rd. Shoot me if I'm a day out.
Yeah. I think we won that game 4-1. Yeah.
And we beat Chelsea. It might have been Boxing Day, give or take a couple of days. Either way, my point is still valid. He doesn't play players, and especially young players, because he saw something in them. He didn't play MLS at left back because he walked into training one day and went, this is Ashley Cole. No, he didn't. He played it because he doesn't like Kieran Tierney. Zinchenko was injured, and Kala Tomiyasu was absolutely done. We'll play on Kala Tomiyasu. We'll get one right, because he was injured. It's out of necessity. When he's backed into a corner, that's why he played there, because he's got left peg. This manager doesn't know how to manage young players. Look, what Charlie Patino was supposed to be the next best thing since sliced bread. Why didn't he get an opportunity? Why didn't he get opportunity?
You know when I drew the line? No, I'm going. No, you know when I drew the line on Ethan? I drew the line on when I really think he had a vendetta against Ethan. Aaron, we were up 7-1 on aggregate. 7-1 versus PSV. 9-3
after half time.
And we were at home with a 6-goal lead at home, and he played Sterling. He gave Sterling minutes.
Exactly right.
That's when I said, okay, This guy is a lunatic. And as soon as Bukayo Saka came back from a grade 3 hamstring, he threw Ranieri in the bin. I was like, okay, there's something. So this,
right.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my God. And then Sterling went and got a meaningless yellow card in that fucking game and got himself suspended for the following game. And this is supposed to be a senior player in the squad, but you don't trust the kid. And you got your senior players doing this. So when he did that, I was like, okay, this guy, there's more going on here than just being a bad manager. You lack people, whatever it is. It's not working. Yeah. It's completely not working. But another thing that I see that's running. I don't know if this happened on Dan Potts' show when Christian was hosting, but it seems that things are only linear in a positive way when it's Arsenal, right? So all our injured players are going to come back 100%. Saka, Gabriel, everyone is going to bang. Zubimendi is going to set in fine, and everything is going to work well at Arsenal. But when at Liverpool, everything is going to fall off nothing's going to be linear at Liverpool, even though they were ahead of us, right? So Florian Wirtz is going to be a Premier League flop, but we don't keep that same energy for Zubimendi. What's his name? Ekitike is not going to bang in the Prem, but we're not keeping that same energy for Gyokeres, and hence Arsenal are going to finish first, and Liverpool are going to finish fourth. Why is it that everything is going to go right for us and everything is going to go wrong for Liverpool and City, the teams that we're clearly competing against with better squads and a better manager?
Do you know what that is? That's called blind delusion. That's all that is. How many people did you hear say that were woohoo, woohoo? How many of us on our side of the fence have you heard say that?
Yeah.
Nada. None. 0. Do you know what that is? That's just that as Matty would say, that's the hope. That's the hope. That's hopium and copium, my friend. It's pure finance. That's people telling themselves that it's all going to be okay. And that's what the majority of these Arsenal fans, Taron, that's what they need. They just need to be told that everything's going to be okay. Now that extends to the weak, fragile mentality of this generation. It's not just football. It's a generational thing. People are so fragile. They're so weak. They're so pathetic. They're so ridiculously clinging on to not the knowledge of everything's going to be okay. That's what it's all going to take. And that's what this manager is. He plays by the weak. But guess what? People like us, people like me and you, people like your world-class chat, we don't believe it because we're not fools. We're not weak. We can see things for what they are. And I'll tell you what they are is shit. We can see past the fact that we've been unsuccessful for 5.5 years and go, maybe who's the common denominator? The fans and the manager. The fans and the manager. Of course, you can include the ownership on that. But the very fact of the matter is the fans have bought into the manager, and the manager has completely and utterly sold the ownership. Like, where do we go from here? Something has to change. One or more of them has to go. And until one or more of them has to go, Arsenal Football Club will be resigned to failure year after year after year. Why? I don't know exactly that 100%, but I tell you what, 5.5 years, probably not going to be no different. Look at the playing staff. What's different? Victor Gyokeres. But we're going to play the same. Well, how has our squad got any better? Look at Manchester City.
Yeah.
Look at Manchester City. Their squad might not be complete or fantastic. Their squad's got better. We've signed Kepa. We've signed Mosquera. Who knows? Norgard. Madueke. We've signed what's his name? Zubimendi to replace Thomas Partey. Now, whatever you say about Thomas Partey's personal life is whatever. Yeah. We won't get into that. But is it massive upgrade? No. Okay, cool. What's the massive upgrade? Gyokeres, massive upgrade. But do you know what the problem is? We don't play to his strengths. Yeah. We've now got a manager that's proven he's not even playing both of them. He didn't play both of them. He didn't even start both of them in the third from last game. What do you reckon's going to happen against Villareal, our penultimate game before we play Manchester City? We're just going to be there exactly the same again. Yeah. Playing the same crappy football, doing the same thing. Einstein. Yeah. What's his definition of insanity? doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta, wake up. Arsenal will be in the exact same position, bro. Exact same position with what playing staff? Eeyore. Giddy up. Come on, Taron. We know it, bro.
Oh my days, ladies and gentlemen, that's why he is Aaron Talks Arsenal. That's why his channel is absolutely flying right now. Now, I would say make sure you go subscribe to Aaron, but I think every single one of you in here is subscribed, if not even members of Aaron Talks Arsenal. So thank you very much to the chat. Aaron, what you got? Are you going to the game?
What one?
Preseason one, the Villareal game.
No.
No?
I don't waste my time on games that I don't have to. Now that might be people might be like, oh yeah, well, you know, how can you say that? I've got season tickets, so I can go to as many games as I want. And to be fair, I want a break from Arsenal more than anything. Do you know what I mean? So when I'm looking at that preseason game, all I'm thinking about is why would I give Arsenal, Arteta, Cronkies more money, more time away from my children, more time away from my family. I've got to run the houses to answer that for you, my friend. But I wanted to let you know honestly why. No, I'm even debating whether or not to go to the Leeds game because I'm just sitting there and I just think why. I trust it. It's not that I trust. I believe in the Tooth Fairy more than I do Mikel Arteta. So when now you've got to pay for money and you've got to pay for things like that, it's difficult to follow this football club. I will begrudgingly, but not going to go to the friendlies, my friend. Sorry. I'd rather take my kids out. I'd rather take my kids out and have a lovely day with them than be pissed off by Arsenal Football Club.
I hear it, man. What you got coming up on the channel later? We can look out for.
Yeah, we got the OGs coming on later. My usual Monday thing. I'm back for that, and we've got a few other little guest appearances throughout the week. We won't say anything just yet, but you know, we got a few guest appearances and all that coming up, and then obviously on the Friday you got the call in, which I love. I love talking to all the fans. That's why I do it. That's why I started it, bruv. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's awesome. It's awesome. But
I'll
yes,
pick up to you, man. Thank you for having me on, my friend.
Yes, man. It's 9:35 here now, so I go to work at 10. So I'm gonna go into the office now and do my therapy for my knee and stuff. But brother, thank you so much for coming on, man. Big up to the chat. Big up to everyone who checked in. The Tooth Fairy is real, Aaron. It's I got a super big up to you, man. Big up to the chat as always. Make sure people you're hitting the likes. Make sure you're subbing. Go on, right? You got something?
Pardon?
No, I thought you said something else. I didn't know.
No. I just said thank you, man. Thank you for giving me the platform to share with your fantastic chat.
Absolutely,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Like I said, people, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.